Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. How is everyone doing today? Let me know in the comment section how your day has been. If it's morning, how was your evening? How was your night? How are we doing today? And how has the sessions streams been so far? Let me know. Want to know? I want to hear from you. How you doing? And while you're on that, please don't forget to check in. Drop in the link again on the comment section. Hi, Lavish. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? And where are you joining us from? Okay, don't forget to check in. Hi, Mose. Good morning from Nigeria. Hello, good morning. Hey, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Okay, let's see if we can have more people on the screen. Hi, Sam. Good morning from UK. How is UK this morning? Hi, Leonard. Hi, everyone. Uh, Tell me something fun you all have been doing for the last stream. Like, I hope you are having fun. I hope you're learning something new. And let me know what's happening. How's it been? I want to hear from you. Hey, Gray and Rennie, the usual. I see. I so anytime I hear about UK, the first thing that goes to my mind is Premier League, and I'm literally looking forward to today's game. Meanwhile, I'm a Manchester United fan, so. Mhm. Hi, Sean. How is Italy today? It should be morning Italy time. Yeah, Europe. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for joining the webhook workshop. Thank you. Hello, 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 hello. MCP session from we was nice. Yep. Yeah, it's 11. Yeah, so 11 a.m. Italy. Yeah, so the same time Nigerian time. Okay, so go ahead and check in if you haven't. So register and check in. Hello, hello, Amakuma. How are you doing today, and where are you joining us from? Hello, and how have your day been, and how is it going? Hi. Okay, so if you have not checked in, don't forget to do that. And as usual, if you have been joining my previous streams, hi, Amaku, you're fine. Good to know that you're doing great. So if you've been joining my previous stream, I always want to make sure that we all follow along. And one way I do that is I I deploy, a very friendly web page that everyone can actually, look at from their end and just follow step by step what we're doing. So we're going to do the same thing today. Let me grab the link and I'll drop it on the comment section. Hey, Gabriela, excited to build Vamos. Yeah, let's go. So whenever I hear UK, I think about Premier League, and whenever someone mentions Vamos, I think about La Liga. Real Madrid. Vamos. Let's go. Okay, here. So I've dropped the link on the comment section. Just put that on the screen so you can check that link out. That is a rough web page of what we're gonna be doing today. What we'll be building. So this whole global health week has all of been all about APIs, how APIs work, how we can connect APIs, how APIs make applications talk to each other, which is exactly what we continue into this session. We'll be looking at how APIs actually make AI assistants smart, right? So naturally, AI is dumb. AI doesn't actually knows anything. It's very dumb, so it doesn't understand what to do. You need to feed it data, and it uses that data to actually work for you. So today we'll continue building on how APIs help make AI assistants smart. Again, APIs just help us connect from one system to another. So we're just gonna see how we can actually communicate with an AI model to a system through API. So I'm just gonna give you a rough example of what I mean. Uh, we have a model, fine, but how can we actually talk to that model? Like, how can we literally tell it what we want it to do, right? Sorry. So how can we literally tell it this is what we want you to do? So I'll just give you an example. What we're going to build is a mini system that recommends movie for us. So we talk to the system via an API. We give it some details about ourselves. Not much details, just how we feel. So from what we feel, the year it recommends a movie for us. So it pulls the data and gives it to an AI agent, an AI model, and from it analyzes the data and then sends back to us like a recommendation based on how we say we feel, based on we feel, I just want to laugh, or maybe I feel like crying. Sometimes I say like I feel like crying and I want to watch some movies that can help me cry, or I just want to laugh, or I need something very romantic and I want to watch some romantic movie or maybe drama. You just fit it in what you need and the mood you are in, and it gives you back recommendations, right? So we're just gonna see how we can do that. Communicate with the API, feed it to our AI model. We'll be using cloud, and we'll be seeing how we can use Amazon Bedrock to actually interact with that. And then it sends us back a data. Meanwhile, I want to know your favorite AI AI agents out there. Tell me in the comment section your favorite AI agents: ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google Gemini, S Grok. What have you been using? Just want to repeat. Is that an AI platform? Why am I hearing? Why am I hearing about it for the first time? Let's see. It's an AI agent. I see. Oh, former repair.it. Hmm, hmm, I see. Hmm, I see. Hmm. 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 So then I use cloud. Yeah, I use cloud as well. So I tried cloud. I mean, I have tried a few of them. I tried cloud. I tried Amazon Q. I tried Amazon Kiro. Yeah, Kiro. I've tried. Anyone tried Codes? Yeah. So I see most have tried Copilot, GitHub Copilot, right? So I have GitHub Copilot, uh, Gemini. So I also tried Gemini. Very cool. Codes, cool. Yeah, I think that's a few I've tried. I've tried Copilot too. They, yeah, Copilot, Agent Mode, Amazon Q, Codes. Codes is actually from OpenAI. Yeah, also very cool. So a lot of them, and I want to know how do you use it? Like, what do you use it for? Do you use it mainly for coding? Do you use it for, you know, what do you use it for? I want to know what you use it for. Do you use it for as a personal assistant? Do you use it for custom applications for yourself, custom assistant? Like, what do you use it for? Let me know in the comment section. Wait, those says Black Boss one. Not sure I'm following. Is Black Boss an AI agent? Okay, so Raji said Google Stitch AI for UI design. Oh, I see. Okay, for UI designers. I think Google has a lot of services idea there. You just heard for the first time and you're wondering, has this been in existence? So most use it for coding and research. Leonard uses it as a learning tool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mainly use ChatGPT, the Open AI, because I'm using the Pro version. And if I also want to write some code, I just plug in Codex since it covers, the Pro version also covers both, the generative AI aspect of chatting with it and also using it at via the API, like the plugin on Visual Studio Code. Yeah, so I tried a few and I noticed differences between them. So I tried Cloud for some time. I think I still have it on my system. Why? Yeah, I think I gotten rid of it. So I tried Cloud. It was cool, but I think AI actually, from my experience, AI kind of gives us little work to do. I mean, from coding perspective. Example, I think it's much easier when you bootstrap on your own and then you fine tune with AI than when you like give the whole job to AI. It kind of gives you double work to start going through the whole code to also make sure that it has not introduced, funny codes, foreign codes that you don't actually want. So I tried a few of them. I noticed most of them have their strengths. Why some, like some have their, their strengths. I'll give you an example of what I mean. So I used Amazon Q. Amazon Q, by the way, is just like your Copilot agent on GitHub. You can download it. You can download it as a plugin, as extension, and sign in with your AWS Builder ID. And literally, it's all about prompt engineering, right? So I tried that, and I noticed it has more strength when it comes to security. All right, if you're building with security in mind, I think that's where it shines basically. Yeah, pretty cool when I tried it out. Uh, why Copilot also cool, but I think the difference is between what I've noticed is if I'm building with Copilot agents, okay, fine, I just let it do the job. Then I use Q to check for security vulnerabilities in my applications. And that's basically how I use the tools these days. So I use the tools based on their strengths. If so, again, I tried Cloud and I tried Kiru. Kiru is actually from AWS. Kiru. Kiro. So I tried Cloud. I tried Creo. Creo is very smart when it comes to design. So like if you want to design like okay, I want this design. If you give it specifics of designs you want, it kind of executes it more compared to Cloud and Copilot, right? So I tried that. It does that very well. So I'm like, okay, if I'm building for the front end, I'm like, okay, I'm going to use Query to build for the front end. It gives me a design that I want. And then if I am trying to think more of security, I use Amazon Q and ask it to check if there's security vulnerabilities in my code. So just using those agents for different use cases actually makes it more fun. So summary, AI tools are used throughout disability assistant tools. So there are hearing aids that use AI for charity. Yeah, I mean AI is here to stay, and it's actually helping in a lot of ways. So it's gonna be here for a very very long time. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so let's look at real world examples of AI applications. I mean, Sam just mentioned one. It's used for AI. It's used for hearing aids. It's for charity. It's also used in the hospitals, medical lines. Okay. Voice assistants. Some of you use Siri. Most you use Google. You know, talk to your phone. Hey Google, set an alarm. It goes ahead and do that. Or you're chatting with Perplexity, ChatGPT, Grok, doing a research. These are like we use them every day. We just end up using AI these days. I think AI is replacing uh, the traditional Google search that we were used to. Most back in the days, you want to do research, you said that you're searching through web browsers, Google search, or different forums. But these days, we just plug into ChatGPT, Perplexity, and the rest of them, and it just help us with our research. So how do they actually work? They just work behind the scene. They have been programmed to be fed. So you feed them information, they use those information, analyze those information, and give you back a response. And behind the scene is just APIs that connect all of them together. Okay. So we're actually going to do a live demo. We'll be fetching data from an API and we'll feed it to uh, Amazon Bedrock. I'll talk a little bit about Bedrock. I'll talk a little bit about Bedrock and what it actually does. So Bedrock is, think about it like a warehouse where you have different resources. You can just go and plug any resources you want. So think about it like a warehouse or a shopping mall. So you can go to the shop mall and you can buy whatever you want to buy from the shop mall, right? So think about Bedrock as an AI shopping mall where you can go and you decide I want to use Google. So I don't think they have Google. They have Metal. They have AI 21. They have a lot of models out there on Bedrock. So you just plug in the one you want to plug. They have Cloud also. I think they have ChatGPT. I think they have GPT-5. So they have a lot of models, machine learning models in Bedrock. So it gives you access to a various numbers of models. So you just go in, plug in, use the model you want, and work with it. So it's pretty good for experimenting which of the models fit in your project. Again, I just choose to use Bedrock, but you can decide to go straight with maybe using OpenAI or Google Gemini. But we'll just be looking at Bedrock and how we can actually utilize it. Okay, so basically what we'll be building, so what we'll be building is a movie, kind of a movie recommender. We will be using, give me 1 second. Let me drop this link one more time. So be using the TMDB. That should be the moviedb.org. I'll be sharing that link and we'll be following along step by step. So I'm just gonna drop the link to the Gemini webpage that I shared earlier. So this gives you an overview of what we'll be going through and what we'll be doing throughout the whole stream session. Okay. And as usual, if you have questions along the stream, just go ahead and ask me that question, and I'll be glad to answer the questions. So we'll go ahead and sign up for a free AWS account. If you don't have any, you can sign up for one. I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, I think I should have my entire screen on this page. Okay, so if you don't have an AWS account, just go ahead and sign up for one. I can literally go to let me grab the link real fast. Yeah. So Amazon, aws.amazon.com/free. That should give you access to sign up for a free account. I think that's pretty much all you need. So an AWS free account, that you can just go over to moviedb.org and just sign up. That should be real quick as well. Just gonna paste that on the comment section, and I'll go ahead and open it right here. So this is like an open source free movie database. You see the latest movies and so forth. So if you are building something around movie recommendation, movie forum, movie platform, you can always grab their API, and the API is actually free. Yeah, I think they have a plan, but you can literally use the free version of it. Okay, so sign up for this and sign up for a free AWS account. For the AWS account, we won't be doing much here. Well, all we'll be doing here is literally creating an IAM user, an identity access management user, so that we can actually configure that on our terminal and use that to communicate with the code we'll be writing, right? And of course, if you open the web page I shared earlier, it also have a link to the GitHub repository that we'll be using for this stream. Yeah, so this is the GitHub repository. So go ahead and open, if you go ahead and open this web page, I think I'll share that on the stream. I'll just go share it again right here on the screen. You're able to have access to just basically what we'll be doing today, right? And I'll drop the GitHub repository link on the comment section as well. Okay, so let's start with a free account. Just come in here, click on create an account, fill in fill in the details, and you should be good to go. Right, but I already have an account, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sign in. But if you don't, go ahead and sign up. But I already have an account, so I'll just sign into my account. Yeah, I need to enter my MFA code. Again, I'm not trying to sign up for a new account. I already have an account. I just go to console.aws.amazon.com. That should take me directly to my account. Okay. So just before I continue, I want to know how many of you have signed up for AWS account, or how many of you already have an AWS account. I just want to make sure that every single person is following along. Let me know on the comment section if you already have an AWS account, or if you have already signed up for one just now, or if you're having any issues at all signing up. Just let me know in the comment section. Okay, so then I was already signed out. Sign up and go ahead and log in. Let me know if you have logged in to the console, and if you have, is that the same page I have on the screen. Can I confirm from every other person if they have signed up, if they have access to the console? Let me know. So only Leonard has confirmed that. I want to hear from every other person on the stream. Have you signed up for AWS accounts? Are you following along? Are you having any issues? Do you have any questions? I want to make sure everyone is following and nobody's stuck at some point. Okay, so once you sign up on AWS, the tool we'll be using is Bedrock. Let me just show you a little bit of what Bedrock does. So you can go to the search bar, and just go to the search bar and search for Bedrock right there. So you see Amazon Bedrock, click on it. Okay, good to know, Sam. Excuse me. Some water. So you can literally create an API key. If you can literally create an API key that you can use to communicate with the Bedrock. But when we're doing that, instead we'll be using an IAM user for this use case. We're using an IAM user, and we just want to communicate with it directly from our console. So while you are here, while you're on the Amazon Bedrock, you can actually play with it. You can go to chat/text playground. You can go to image/video playground. So if you are looking at generating some text and experimenting with the text, you can use this option. And then if you are looking at creating videos, you can check out the video option. So that's the most. Start mode, you can select a model. But before that, let me show you exactly what you should have on your end. So before that, you shouldn't be able to do anything until you register for or you request for the available models. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. So once you come here, you can scroll down to where you have model access under configure and learn. So click on model access. Give me one second. Settings. Yeah, I think AWS is always changing this interface. Should be right here. It should be model access. Okay, so access to all serverless foundation models are now technically enabled for Plus account. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so they made some changes. So before now, you have to request access for the models you want to use. But now I think it's automatically enabled for all accounts. Okay, okay, I see. We can select a model from the model catalog. They have a lot of models here. But just like I said, it's literally a warehouse for different machine learning models that you can just come and pick the one you want to play with. Like, you can see the popular ones. Of course, AWS has their own, but you can see cloud, different versions of cloud are here. So you can Lima also is here. There's a Meta. I think that's pretty much. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the catalog. Is it? They have 249 catalogs. I think most of them fall into Bedrock Marketplace. Let me see. Oh, I see. There's a whole lot of it. Okay. So you can literally find what you're looking for here. I think they also have DeepSeek models here. Yeah, I mean, like pretty much all you can just find whatever you're looking for. So that's why I love Bedrock. You're not limited to a specific machine learning model. If you have anyone in mind, you probably see it here. I'm not sure if they have OpenAI yet. Let me see. I'm not sure they have ChatGPT. They No, they don't. But I have a pretty much a lot of them here that you can actually plug in and make use of. So they have ChatGPT like OpenAI. I don't know. Can I find it here? Ah, I see. Awesome. So I mean, pretty much you can plug in whatever you want to build from here. Uh, for the pricing, again, if you sign up for the free account, before now, AWS used to give like free trial, like use some of the services for free. But I think if you sign up newly, they give you a specific amount of credit that you can actually make use of. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing right now. But they give you, I don't know a specific, but they give you a specific. I think it's like 150 USD credit. I can't remember the word. I can't remember, but they give you a credit that you can actually use to play along and learn how the services work. So pretty much, it's just a warehouse of AI models, machine learning models that you can plug in and make use of it for your custom application. Okay. Uh, I I think we'll be sticking with cloud for this demo. Pretty much, we help us do whatever we want to do. So let me see how we can play with that. Click on test. Yeah, so Leonard, I think you're correct. At least when I sign up, they gave me $200 credit. Yeah, so you receive a $200 credit that you can use to experiment and play along. Again, I think you must enter your credit card while signing up for the free account. So just remember to not once you have gotten to the limit. Again, if you spin up a service, always shut it down when you're done. No, when experimenting, because if you forget, it keeps running, and you could run out of the free credits, and automatically they bill you from your card, right? And when they try to bill you and you don't have like some cash on the card, I think they put your account on restriction. So again, just shut it down when you're not using it anymore. So we can let's pretty much you can play with the playground here. Select a model. Before then, I have a comment here. I can sign up, guys. Let me know if there's a workaround for the AWS service you're implementing. Are you having any specific error message, like Gabriela? Why can't you sign up? Let me know. Is there? Let me know issues you're having currently from your end. Let me know why you can't sign up. So I want to know where you are stuck while signing up. And I mean, of course, you can use other services. You can basically use other AI models out there, like ChatGPT. You can log into ChatGPT, go to the API section, copy the API keys, and use it for this demo. I mean, literally, we just bring in data, pushing it to an AI model, and it's giving us something back. But we'll be using Bedrock. But as a workaround, you can play with other AI services as well. I just wanted us to use Bedrock so we can see how it gives us access to a whole lot of categories and catalogs that we can use just in case we are looking for something specific. Okay, so I will stick to cloud, and cloud is by Anthropic. So you can choose from any models you want to play with, and plug in the version of the models. You have different regions, US and global. Okay, you can apply that, and that should give us access to the playground. And we can literally, you know, chat, upload, and do a lot of things, just like we do on. It's all about prompting, and you can see what the responses are like. You can also add specific system prompts, like basically tell it how to behave and so forth. So you can literally play here and just to see exactly what it looks like. I think you can also compare it with other models. Yeah, so you can have this model here, have another model here, compare the answers from what you have here and what you have here. Let me see. Let's try Meta. Meta is on demand. I don't want to use anyone that is on demand. Let me see. Let's try this. Oh, let's actually try OpenAI. It's on demand. Okay. Okay, let's stick with DeepSeek. Ah, this is it. Let me see if you actually understand. I was trying to say, how good are you instead of how cold are you? Hmm, I see. Hmm. I don't know which of them is like kind of smarter here. So I'm like, how cold are you? But I was actually aiming for how good are you? I think Cloud was like, okay, I think you may be asking, how cold are you? Not really. I was trying to ask, how good are you? Okay, how good are you? Let me pick a player. Well, I don't know. But again, yeah, I mean, you can literally play with different models to see which of them actually fits into your use case, and you can go ahead and use any of that. Okay. But we will not be playing with this here, but I just want to show you how you can actually play with this here and try it out and see which of them fit into your use case before you go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to use this model or this version of the model and so forth. But now we are going to actually be using it programmatically. So for us to use that, I wanted us to create an AWS account so we can uh, have some credentials that we can use so we can communicate with our AWS console, right? And to do that, I want us to create an IAM user. So from the console, just type in IAM. Identity it simply stands for Identity Access Management. It's where you configure uh, access access to more like a key. You know, when you want to enter, when you want to have access to. I'm just gonna give you a real life example. People join organizations and they have specific things they do in the organizations. So think about that as an identity access management, giving giving the least privilege to, you know, giving the least privilege access to who needs it, right? So example is if you have an intern and they shouldn't have access to different resources in the console. You don't give them access to resources they don't need. So you manage that from identity access management. So that's literally what this is all about. And again, it's recommended you create an IAM access whenever you're working with your console. You don't use the root account, right? So that in case of anything, the IAM you created gets exposed or someone got access to it. Or definitely just shut it down before any more damage could happen and so forth. And also so that they don't have access to all the resources. So you can literally create an IAM user and give it the least privileged access it needs. Just the resources you want it uh, to perform, right? So example is if I have a user and their job is to work with let's say Amazon S3 buckets, I just give them access to S3 buckets. That's the only access they will have. They won't have access to any other resources. So they only stick to what they have access to, and they can only perform the job they have been assigned to do. So they can't poke around to try different things out and end up messing up with the system, right? Okay, so I'll click on users and just click on create a user. I'm just going to create a user. I think we have done this over the time our streams. So just go ahead and create a new user. Give the user a name. I just call this API week. You can provide them access to the console if needed. That if you want them to sign into the console on the browser, but we don't need that. We'll be working mainly via our console and our programmatically. So we don't actually need access to console. You have an option to set permissions. In this case, we just want to we want to use existing permissions so we can attach policies directly. You already have like predefined permissions that you can literally give these users or the user you are creating. Just for the purpose of this, let's say we just want to make use of Bedrock, so we can literally type Bedrock right here. You can see all the whole access to Bedrock and other Bedrock services. So let's say this application we are building depends mainly on using the AI model hosted on Bedrock. Though in that case, we just need to give that IM user access to Bedrock, right? So what this does is it only allows that system to interact with the Bedrock service. It does not give it access to any other service like EC2, the database, or so far. They only have access to Bedrock, so they can only interact with the Bedrock. They can't go beyond Bedrock because we're just giving it access to Bedrock alone. So this is from a security point of view. You want to give least privilege access to the resources that need them. Okay, so you can just, if you are going to do this Amazon Bedrock full access, then they'll have access to, everything Bedrock, and they can communicate with Bedrock. So you can go ahead and do that. But in a case, maybe you're trying to is your account, right? Again, don't use the root access. It's not recommended. So you can literally give yourself full access. So if you type full admin access, 1 second here. Yeah, the administrator access. I think that should be the full admin access, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's it. So the administrator access give you access to it gives you access to every resources. If you look at the Justin keyword here, the resources are white card, so it gives you access to all of the resources. You have action, white card, you can do anything at all you want to do. And the resources, the effect is allow every single resources to be performed. So I have a comment here. Can you tell about DeepSeek? So it is a model, and Bedrock also gives you access to it, just like we saw. Right? I'll go back to that just a second. So go ahead and create your IAM user. You can decide to give yourself full administrator access if you want to, or you can decide to just give it Bedrock access if you're just developing for the system. Just the system just should communicate with Bedrock, and that's the only thing it does. Again, you can give more than one access. You can give Bedrock access. You can give S3 bucket access, EC2 access, VPCR. You can just give all the accesses that you want that IAM user, to have access to. Again, you can think about the IAM user as a system, like a system. What I mean is not just a typical user, but as a system. So like your platform, your product is a system, and that system will be talking to your AWS console. So you can literally give that system access to the resources it needs. You don't have to give it access to all the resources if it doesn't need it. So click on next once you have chosen. I just choose the administrator access. I can just go ahead and click on create user. So once you click on that, you can click on the view user for that user that has been created. And you have the user details here. So next thing is we need what we call credentials, the keys of this user, so that this user can actually plug in those credentials to our applications if needed, right? So go ahead and click on security credentials right here. And you should be able to scroll down under access key, click on, under access key, click on create access key. So you have some options if you want to use command line interface, if you're building like a command line interface, but it does not matter now. If you actually choose command line interface, that's still going to work automatically in your application. So just go with that. And confirm you actually just they give you alternative recommendations because they're like, okay, this is not really safe. If anyone mistakenly have access to it, they can basically do anything on your system. But again, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Go ahead and create the user for me. So once you are here, you can put a description tag if you want to, and you can click on create access key. So tags helps you to, you know, recognize resources easily. You know what the resources does, so you can always tag. Let's say this is for intent, and we have an intent tag, and I can just say use an intent. I know it's always an intent. Or if it's, this is a demo count, or so they're all tagged, so I can easily uh, identify what they do. So once you have done that, you have access key and you have your secret access key right here. You can copy that, you can put it somewhere safe, or you can download it as a CSV file that will give you access to both of them. So I don't need this. I'm not going to reconfigure my profile, but yeah, you need the access key and you need the secret access key in order for you to. Okay, so some ask, can you go back to how to go to users and get the access key? Sure, I'll do that right away again. So I click on done. Yeah, go ahead and continue. So from the IM portal right here, you can just on the navigation on the left, you can click on users, or you can see the asset email resources here. You can click on users from here. So any of that takes you to users, and you can click on create a user. So you have to create the user, right? The user needs to have a name. I'll just create users, but I'll go ahead and delete them later. I just want to make sure you flow along. So MAH, I gave it a name, MAH, and I am attaching a policy directly to that user. I just click on attach policy directly, and I search for the policy I want to attach. In this case, let's say I want to give this user administrator access. Let's say I just want to give this user Bedrock access because they'll be using Bedrock only, and I don't want them to have access to any other thing apart from Bedrock. So I can just select Bedrock, Amazon Bedrock full access. I click on next. But for your case, if you want to experiment with other resources later on, you can just use the full access. So you can just type in admin. Of course, you can use more than one access. You can like attach more than one policy. Again, you can attach as much policy as you want the user to have. And you can click on next. It will give you the policy summary. You can click on create user. It creates a user for you. Once it's created, you can click on view user. The green option here comes up. You click on it. Once you've done that, you can go to security credentials. Scroll down where you have access keys right here. So you have to create a user. They have to create an access key for the user. They can click on create access key. Already the command line interface CLI. Yeah, confirm that you understand the risk. Click on next. You can put the tag, or if you want to, they can click on create access key. So this will generate access key and security access key. You can download it as a CSV file, or you can just copy this, and keep it safe where you only have access to it, please. And click on done. Okay. Okay, so while I'm here, I'm just going to delete some of these users I created that I don't necessarily need. Okay, so I need to deactivate the access keys before I can delete them. Okay, I'll do that later on. But yeah, but you have created a user, you can keep track of the users you have on your system and so forth. So once you have that, just before we move forward, I'm going to answer this question right here. Someone saying, can you tell about DeepSeek? I mean, it's a model, and yes, you also have access to it from here. Sorry, Amazon Bedrock. So you also have access to it, Amazon Bedrock. So you have access to a whole lot of models, actually. So again, it's like a warehouse where you can plug in any model you want to use and make use of it. So it's pretty awesome. You can play with different models here. If you go to the model catalog, you can literally see it. Mm, yeah, I think I saw it somewhere here. Yeah, so this DeepSeek. But this is like the available DeepSeek models that you have between in the marketplace right here. So you can literally play with it if you are trying to see the differences between it and other models. Which of them is more fine tuned to what you want to do. Basically, I mean, again, people use different models based on the output it gives, right? So you can click on the text options. You have also the image. You're looking at generating image and videos. You can also click on that. You can also do the in the generative AI tests. You can play with different models to see which of them gives you more of what you're looking for. So you can give it an input, look at the output, compare them, and so forth. Okay. So once we have our IM user created now, we can start actually configuring that on our CLI. Uh, Again, I just love to do this so that I don't keep plugging in. I don't keep plugging in my. I don't keep plugging in anything in my .env. Right. The only thing I have in my .env is the yeah. I'm just gonna make it public. It's not really a necessary key, so is the data the movie database. So like literally have nothing to lose from it. But again, don't show people your keys. But then this is a test key, so I don't really mind. So again, I wanted to make sure I'm not plugging in my AWS keys on the dot environment here, right? I just don't want to. So I configure it from the console. So before that, we need to download the AWS console. So you can literally go to the Google search and search for AWS CLI. So it's pretty straightforward. If you're Mac, if you're Windows, and you can go ahead and let me get you the link. Mm, I think this is where I want to go to. Yeah, so I'm just gonna drop this link on the comment section. So you can find the instructions for Linux, Mac OS, or Windows. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a one-line command. If you're on Linux, just use sudo yum. Okay, this is to remove if you're trying to update. If you're trying to install, it's just a pretty one command. Just download, unzip, and install. That's it. Right. So it's pretty straightforward. So you can follow along with your operating system, Mac, Windows, Linux, whichever one it is. The same thing with Windows. I think it's straightforward as well. Just install, run, and extract. Okay. So pretty straightforward. So the goal here is for us to install once and communicate, from anywhere on our terminal without the need of plugging in API keys, access keys, and so forth, like over and over again. So once you have this installed, it should be pretty fast. The installation should be like pretty fast. So once you have that installed, let me see. I'll bring up my terminal. So I'm on Windows, but I have the WSL, Windows Linux System, installed on top of it. So I just love working on that environment. I will make use of that environment instead. Right. So I think one way to check if you have a console installed is to type AWS dash dash version. I think that should give you the version we are currently on. Yes. So that should give me the version I am on currently. So that you can actually use that to confirm that the installation went successfully. Now we need to configure our credentials. The credentials we got from the console, the access key and the secret key. So you have it somewhere, so you saved it or you copied it, keep it safe, and once you have installed the CLI, just come to the console. Come to the open your console. If you're on Linux, open your terminal. If you're on Mac, open your terminal. If you're on Windows, also open your terminal, your PowerShell or your command line interface. That should do the job. And just type in AWS configure. So when you type in AWS configure, I already have this configured there. So it's just going to give me back my information. But if you're configuring for the first time, once you type AWS configure, the first thing it asks you, again, it's going to give me back my information, but it's also giving me room to update it. So in case I want to update the information, right? In case I want to update it with a new access key. You can also create different profiles. You can like manage different profiles of access keys here, but we're just not going to focus on that for now. So you can just go ahead and paste in your access key ID right here. It's giving me back my access key because I already configured this before. So, but for you, just paste in the access key. That's the access key ID. Just press it, hit enter. It will ask you to enter your secret access key. Go ahead and do the same. Hit enter. It will ask you for your default region name. Uh, the regions are what it is. It's very explanatory. It's regions. AWS have different regions where they have the data centers all over the world. US East one happens to be the most popular one that have most of the services. Most people use US East one. That is why whenever it's done, most of companies are affected as well. But again, yeah, you can go ahead and plug in your preferred region where you host most of your applications. If it's not yours, it's one. If you have a region you will be hosting most of your resources, then go ahead and plug that in. Just type it the way it appears on the console. This is what I mean. If you go to the console, right here, you will see the region that you are on currently, and you can see the name tag, right? So if you're using a different region, let's say US West 1, you just type in US West 1 the way it appears here on the console as well for the region name. So, but I use US East 1, it has most of the resources here, and I just leave that. Then it asks you for the default output. So this is like how am I going to communicate with you when when you want an output? Do you give an input? How do you want me to communicate with you? I wanted to use JSON. I love the format. So go ahead and type in JSON. I think they have SML as well, but I mean, everybody just uses JSON. It's more readable. So you can just go ahead and type in JSON. But I already have it, so I'm not going to type it in again. I'll just hit enter. And that's it. So you have configured that. So each time you automatically run your code from the terminal, it's going to automatically, in as much as you have the SDK in your code base, it's going to automatically authenticate with your access key and secret key, and of course your region and the output to communicate with your resources. Okay, so now we have that set up, and that's it. We are not going to we don't need the AWS console again. So we have established the communication from terminal to the console. So we can close the console and we can play from the console. Then for the movie DB org, again, just testing the link right here. By the way, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Now for the movie DB, just go ahead and go to the moviedb.org, sign up, and how do we get our API key? Just click on the profile settings, click on API subscription. I see. So access your API key details here. Just go ahead and click on access your API key details here. Okay, back to this question. What should I put as the default output format? JSON. So just type in JSON. I will just type that in on the comment section, sharing it on the screen right here. Just type in JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript object object what? I can't remember the full name. Is it notation? I think it's JavaScript object notation. Yeah, I'm correct. So it's just a sentence, like the way information is being given out, just like what you have on the screen. Yeah, in an object format, as easily for you to read. This is mainly what RESTful APIs use to communicate with one another. Okay, so on the movie DB, click on access your API key here, and you should have access to API with token access and API key. So this is the one we need. Just copy the API key. Again, I don't need this. I mean, if anyone have access to it, basically, I don't know what they're looking for here. Okay, so I mean, if you're building something robust, again, I think they have like, you can actually upgrade and have more access to the resources. But for use case, you can just stick with the free version. So you copy the API key here. So we need this API key. So once you have that, I think we should be good to go. Okay, I'm dropping the check-in on the comment section right now. So right here. If you have not checked in, go ahead and check in using the link on the comment section. You can also see the link on the screen. Okay, so once we have this and we have already configured our AWS credentials, I think we are good to go. Okay, so let's look at the code that we have. The next thing you need to do is just clone the repository that you have access to the code base, right? Again, you need Node.js because it's a Node application. I think we already have this. We have the TMDB API key. That's a movie database. We have already configured AWS credentials. Of course, our system comes with terminal already. And then we need Postman for. Oh, so Sniper, I will share my LinkedIn later on. Thank you. I'll drop it on the comment section while you're on it. Okay, you can just search for Vincent Tirole on LinkedIn. I think I'm the only one with that name. Okay, so I think what you need from your end is a Postman. So go ahead and download Postman, or if you have any other API endpoint testing applications. I think I love Insomnia. I don't know the correct pronunciation, but it's a little bit lighter than Postman. But Postman is very popular. We'll be just using that for testing purpose. So download Node.js and npm. Or again, if you don't have that, just go to Google, search for Node.js download. I don't want to dive into other options of downloading Node.js, so you can manage different versions, but you can just download it directly. I think you find all the instructions you need for Windows, for Mac, and for Linux. You can just use your system. I just keep that here just in case you don't have it. And I think automatically once you download Node.js, it comes with npm automatically. But again, if you're curious to know if you have if you have if you have it or not, you can open your terminal and you can search for Node version just to make sure you have it. Okay, so you can literally check if you have it already without knowing. So you can type node hyphen v and npm hyphen v. That will give you the versions of Node you have and the versions of npm you have. I think the latest version is 24.11. Yeah, but I'll stick with 22 for now. Okay, so if you have that installed there, I think we are good to go. So you have nodes and npm. You have the API key here. You have the AWS credentials. You can download Postman. You can go to if you type in Postman download on your search. This should take you to the download link. Yeah, just drop that on the comment section as well. And automatically it will detect your operating system and you can download your choice of operating system. Okay, so I already have that installed and I think we are good to go. So you can go ahead and clone the repository that I shared on this page. So if you scroll down, you can visit the repository right here if you want to, or you can literally clone it from your terminal. Yeah, it's just a simple one-line file code that I bootstrapped with Codes, and what it does, it communicates with our. It's just using the Express library, and it's using the Bedrock SDK. Yeah, the AWS SDK actually, the Bedrock runtime specifically. And yeah, that's the only thing we're doing here. That I mean, that's the important one. We're just using Express to bootstrap the server. We're using ourselves because we want to communicate with the the movie database. So we want to make a request to it, return something, then passing whatever we return there to AWS using the SDK, and yeah, give us back information. So I literally had coded some info here, like defaults and stuff, just in case we don't need it. We always want data to come back, right? So just had coded some information. So it can always return something back for us. Let's see. What again are we doing right here? Yeah. So again, we are talking. We are making sure the bedrock is the region. It's gonna find it from. If we don't have it defined already, just use ES is one. Uh, Formatting the movie the way we want it to come back to us. Title, VA, overview, then the poster URL, just in case we want to make use of the poster URL later on. So this is the function that fetches the movie by year. It fetches between 2000 to 2025. It returns the params, it uses the API keys and so forth. But again, pretty much we use Anxious to make a query to the movie, passing in the params we just passed in here, and it returns data for us. Then finally, we plug in that data into a bedrock right here. Right. So we invoke bedrock, we pass in our ID. Of course, we don't need to do this, right? So all these things have been, since we already have the credentials configured automatically on our terminal, so we actually don't need to pass in anything to don't need to pass anything else to don't need to pass anything else to the .env. So all we passed was the model and the region. Again, the way we actually use we use the playground on the console to get the model we want to work with and the version. Yeah, so you can literally copy that model, the model you want to work with, right there from the console. So we already passed that on our env. So if you just if you just go ahead and create and clone this repository, all I want you to do is create a .env file. So on your terminal, just create a .env file. You can do that from your favorite editor. Click on touch, click .env file. I think I can literally do an example here. You can have uh, yeah, I just copy everything I have here and paste it in here. That's this. Okay, so this gives you a sample of what I'm just gonna add that and commit it. And I just push it back to, yeah. So if you just clone in now, you should have the dots. I'm not sure I'm gonna have it, but let's confirm. I just refresh this. Yeah, so you should have the .env example. So you have an example of what you expected to do. So you expected to create .env file on your .env. Just create a .env and just plug in your database IP here. The model you want to work with, you can go ahead and use that and your region. So for the mock, so basically what I did was just in case I don't have access to, just in case I don't have access to Bedrock, I can literally set this to true. That it will kind of mock what Bedrock will give me back. So just in case I don't have access to Bedrock or the internet is down and it's for some reasons it didn't communicate with Bedrock. I'm just in testing purpose. I don't have access to the internet or I don't have access to Bedrock yet. So I just created a mock so I can literally if I send it to true, it won't try to communicate with Bedrock. It will just give me a hard coded recommendation. But if I set it to false, then it will go to Bedrock and then it will return information back to me. So someone asks, is this a REST API? Yes, it's a RESTful API. So we have two endpoints. Basically, we have the head endpoint that makes sure that our server is working fine, and then we have the recommend endpoint. Yeah, it's a REST API. Yeah, so pretty much that's what we did here. Passing. So this is like the monk. Again, this is the monk. Just in case something happened, you just wanna give us a monk recommendation. Yeah. But then if we set that to false, that's if we set this to false, then it definitely is going to talk to Bedrock and give us something back. Okay, so what again are we doing right here? Yeah, so pretty much we have the recommend endpoints. We're going to this is basically the endpoint that communicates and does and pushes the other functions. We give it something on the body. I'm gonna show you that real quick. So we're gonna pass a body to it. I think this is basically what we're passing. Uh, Preferences, what we prefer, like the gens, our mood, the year range, language, and things to avoid. When we hit send, it's just gonna return a recommendation for us. Okay. So that's pretty much what we're doing right here. So we're literally just seeing how we can get info from one API and send it to another API. So, but in this case, the other API is literally an AI model. So the movie database, we are communicating with it via API. So I have a question. What you are using to visualize endpoint JSON scripts? This is Postman. So that's what I'm using to test the API. So we're gonna get to that. But yeah, I just wanted to explain what the code does. It's literally getting information from us, pass it to Bedrock, and Bedrock returns a recommendation for us. Okay. Okay. So we can literally start that. Just run node server.js to start our server. Okay, so our server is up and running, and we can open our favorites. Can open our favorite. We can open our favorite. What's it called? Uh, API testing tool. Either you're using Postman or a different one. You can literally just copy the two endpoints that we have. So we basically have two endpoints. We have the recommend and the help. Right. So this is a get request and this is a post request. I already have this here. I don't know how many of you use Postman for the first time. If this is the first time you're using Postman and you have downloaded it, let me know. I can literally explain how you can set it up. You can set it up real quickly. I mean, you don't need to do anything fancy. All you need to do is once you open it, you can just create a collection and just create a collection. And I think that's pretty much it. So on the new sorry on the collection, you can create a new request. You can select the action here if it's a get request, post request, or so forth. So in this case, it's a get request, and you can literally copy literally copy the endpoint and just paste it in here slash head. That should give us what we're looking for. It just returns true, like, okay, the endpoint is working fine, like our server is up and running. That's basically what it means. Okay. I just created basically what I did, it creates what we call a global variable for the endpoint. So you don't need to keep typing, the endpoint over and over again. I mean, the base URL basically. So you can literally create a variable on the collection. So basically, if this is your collection where this API, all I did was create a variable, call it base URL, and put in the value. So I don't have to type in, the base URL over and over again. So I can literally just reference it like this and, work with that. So nothing fancy. That's all we did here. Now it's the same thing, just pointing to the base URL and the endpoint we want to go to. So this is checking for our server if it's healthy, and of course it is healthy, so it's up and running. So the next one we just posting. So this is basically where we are giving data to the system. So we just put in our preferences. You can type in right here. So it's a body. So on the post, go to body and just put in the sample body right here. Let me see. You can just copy that and paste. And you can limit it to how many recommendations you want. So just let me say I do 5. And I'll change grammar to action. Yeah, I can avoid horror movies. I click on send, let's see what happens. Okay, so it returns some data back to us. That's of a movie, The Fantastic Four. I don't know if I've seen that. I have seen man of string. I've seen a vendors. It just returns based on the mood. We say we want something thoughtful and uplifting. We choose the genres we want: action, science free, the range of the year, the language, and things to avoid. Yeah. So basically, what it does is it sends those information. It gets that information. It sends it to Bedrock. Bedrock just used the mood and filters it. So basically, what it's doing right here is filtering it, and it tells you why it recommended it based on the mood you have specified. So it's engaging science fiction superhero adventure that explores the family dynamic of Earth's first hero. So it's just using the information you gave to it to return the data back to you, right? That's basically what Bedrock is doing right here. Like it filtered maybe keywords from the movie. So it searches for the movies using the genes and action basically to the movie database. It brings it back. It pushes it to the our model. So what our model does is it filters it using the mood and the year we have given it. It filters it based on mood and uplifting. So it looks for the keyword, the descriptions, and from there it can just pick the keywords and okay, this is something you like based on the mood you have given us. I'm trying to see if we can visualize this. Ah, let's see. I've not used this feature before. Uh, I know. I was thinking to give me like a a UI. Let me see if I approve that. Oh, okay. Now that's not doing anything for me. Sorry, not sure. I know exactly what that is doing. Anyways, let's go ahead. Of course, if you have questions, go ahead and ask me. If you're testing this out, also let me know if it's working on your end. Okay, I want us to try something new. I want us to actually create a UI for this. We're going to use a code agent for that. So I don't know which one should we use. So it's just going to be a very simple HTML, and it's just going to look at our code base, and it's going to create a UI for us that we can literally just communicate with without using Postman to test the APIs. We can use Copilot, so we can use Codex. Codex is from OpenAI. We can also use Amazon Q. So any of this works. I use Codex. It looks pretty fast for me. So I will tell it to no context. I'm just gonna ask it to look at my code base and create. Yeah, just create a simple HTML to communicate with. Okay, so let's see what it comes up with. So I'm trying to create a UI for our existing code base. Okay, so let me know if you have tried, running these codes on your end and if it's working. Let me know. I want to know if anyone is trying it and if it's working and if you are having any issues at all. Okay, I can see it created some public folder for the static files. Let's see. Graphing some HTML, and JavaScript for it. And again, I want to challenge you to build something. Can you walk through how to run this on Postman? Yes, let me do that for real quick. But once you have, again, I think I missed some points. So once you have cloned the repository, right? Let me just walk you through that steps over and over again. So once you have cloned the repository and you have created your .env file, all you need to do is you can just copy the sample you have here and paste it in there and just change your movie database. So just paste in your API key right there. That's all you need to do. Then run npm install. Forgot that step. So run npm install so it can install the dependencies that you need, right? So once you've done npm install, I just go ahead and run npm install. You can install the dependencies you need. Once you have that installed, go ahead and start the server using Node server.js. So that will start the server right here. Okay. So once you have that started, you will see similar, output mini AI system running at about 3,000. So you can now open Postman. So we have just two endpoints. We have the head endpoint, which is a GET request, and we have the recommend endpoint, which is expecting a JSON body, right? So let's start with the head endpoint. So all you need to do is just go to the URL, which is your local host 3000 on Postman. Just paste it right there. Like Open Postman. Let me show you real quick. So open Postman. You can create a new where you have workspaces, right? You can create a new workspace, right? So this is what workspace gives you. Yeah, this is what workspace gives you, like like a workspace where you can experiment and do. Let's say you're working on different projects, so think about your project as a workspace. So you can just click on workspace. I love to do that. I have different workspaces that I use for different you know projects. So click on workspace, and on the workspace you create a collection. So this is what we call collections. It could be a specific feature that you want to categorize it as collections. So whatever it is you want to categorize as collection, you can just name that collection, right? But you don't need to do all that. I don't want to dive into that. But you can literally just create a collection if you want to. And let me show you exactly what I mean. Just create a new collection, blank collection. It's just going to ask you a few questions, or it will not. Yeah, it's just a blank collection. Just add a request. Right. So on that request, just paste in the URL. Again, for the first one, it is head. So this is our endpoint. It's just head, and it's a GET request. So we're just checking if our server is healthy. That's always checking right here. And for the second one, it is a post request. So I can literally open another request. You can open another request. Just click plus here. Just to open a new request option. Okay. So for this one, it's a the endpoint is recommend. Let me be sure. Yeah, so it's a post request, and we're just it's a post request, and we are expecting some info on the body. So we're expecting some info. We're expecting preferences. The preferences is a JSON body, so we need some infos, and I showed exactly what info we are looking for. Just go back to Postman. So this is slash recommend. Change this to post. So it's a post request. So get request, you're trying to get something out of the system. The post request, you're trying to post something to the system. So yeah. So when you talk about APIs, you always going to mention CRUD, right? Create, read, update, delete. That's basically what we do every single day. We're using the system. Is either we are creating, we are reading, or we are updating, or we are deleting. So I'm just showing you two examples of that. So with the gets, you are reading. With posts, you are updating or you are creating. So yeah. So though we use put for updating, literally you see put here as well. So which is for updating. So the information already exists, but you want to update some part of it. So we use put. Though post can do that, but standard we use put. Why post is mainly if you're creating a new info that does not exist on the system already, right? So this is the endpoints recommend on the body. I click on body, click on raw data. So I just want to paste in a raw data right here and just put in what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna copy this again because I don't have it offset. So this is okay. This is what our system is expecting. Is expecting agency preferences. We are passing in the gens we want, the mood we are in, the year range and the language of the movies we want to, catch. Things to avoid. We wanted to avoid horror movies. Why give us the recommendations? And we can set the limits of the recommendations we want as well. Like I just want you to give me the best 10 movies, best five of based on my mood, right? Then I can just go ahead and click on send, and it will just go ahead and do that. Okay. So Sam, I hope that answered the question. Let me know if it does. And then it returns data for us. You can see the data is like adjacent data. Inside it, you have peaks, and inside the peaks, you have the movies, like title of the movie, the another one, another one, another one, another one. So it returns five of them, and returns also the preferences it's used, for the search and the filtering. Okay, I hope that answered the question. If it doesn't, let me know. Hi, Sean. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I will connect with you. So, let's see. You have a question? What should we do next to expand on these topics, like a more intimate thing? Yeah, so I think I have like few options. You can literally think about how you can use this in your day-to-day life. Like, is there something you are again? This is like for a movie freak. We always look for a movie to watch on weekend. Like okay, just give me the movie to watch. You can even expand it like, okay, I have watched this, I have watched this, I have watched this, so avoid these movies. I don't know. That's an example. Another example is you can literally use it to. Another idea that came to my mind before the stream was using this to predict like the stock market, right? Which is something I'm going to do. Like, so I'm literally telling you what I'm going to build this weekend, my personal use, using the same concept. So I'm just going to build a kind of investment guru coach ritually. So what it does is I'll feed it I'll feed it some APIs from I'll feed it some APIs from just before I continue. So someone said the code screen is small and not very visible. I just want to is it from Postman or the code base itself? If it's the code base, you already have access to it. You already have access to it on GitHub. If you're referring to the code base, you already have access to it on GitHub. I'll just press that again. If you don't, you can look at the code from your end. But let me know if you're referring to something else. Like, are you referring to what I have here on Postman? Let me know. But if you're referring to the code base itself, I pasted the code to it so you can check it out. So back to Sean. So you can literally think about a pain points, something that is you're struggling to have, and you can literally just use that as an option. Oh, my screen. Hmm. I don't know. Is another person having an issue with my screen? Like, is it too small? And just to confirm, is it literally every single thing I'm sharing on the screen, or I want to know if it's just Postman? Okay, I think I can increase the screen. I think that should help. Let me know if that helps. Okay, from where I can get the info that you present to the body? Oh, okay. Let me. Yeah, I see. I did not include that on. I did not include that on the. Yeah, I did not include this on the code base, right? So I'm just gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna paste it inside the example. I'm gonna paste it inside the example so you can make use of it. So this is the. Let me push it real quick. If you check the GitHub repo again, you should be able to see it. Okay, so I just pushed that to GitHub. So if you check the GitHub repository one more time, you have that example right there. Just refresh this. You should have it somewhere here. Yeah, so you have that right here. Okay, so let's see if our AI actually did anything. So I think I've increased my screen a little bit, so that should be more visible. Yeah, cool, Sean. I'm looking forward to what you build. Yeah, tag me. Okay, so let's see if AI came up with something cool. So I don't know what it came up with, but let's see. So you hook up the Express to static public file. Okay, what did you do? Let's see what it does. Okay, let's start our server again and see what it has built for us. If I go to localhost 3000, let's see if we have something on it. Oh, we do. Hmm. Okay, this is cool. Let's see. So it asked me my mood. So like mind bending, but not too dark. Okay, I pick must have James on the movie, adventures. I mean, you can customize it to exactly what you want. Release date from this to this. Language. Okay, cool. How many picks? This is pretty cool. Let me see if it does anything. I click on run. Ah, it does. Mm-hmm. The planet A's 9. Amazing. This this is cool. It also gave me an option like feel lucky. Okay, so I have a comment here. Please can you give the API key? I cannot create it. Just to confirm, which of the API key is it? The movie database, or is it for is it for the sorry is it the movie database or the bedrock? Let me know. Let me see what the feel lucky. Oh, the feel lucky selects. It just selects something for you automatically. Yeah. Oh, the feel lucky mood runs, more like if you don't have anything in mind, you click on feel lucky. It goes and, pick something for you, like dynamically, and just runs it. Cool. I think we can add more feature. Like, hey, I want you to show me the poster as well. Maybe. I think I love that. Let me see. Again, I love coders. Like, it's literally very good with vibe coding. It's just kind of reads your mind and does some crazy stuff for you. Pretty cool. So Baram, let me know the API key you are specifically asking for. Yeah, I see someone else asking for that also. Please, can you give the API key? Which API key specifically? Is it the yeah? So is it the movie database API key? Is it the movie database API key? Let me know exactly what you're referring to. Is it the movie database API key? So I see I'm unable to create because it's asking domain name and other things. Is it the Mongo? Sorry, I want to be sure exactly the problem. So let me know if you're having issue with the Mongo. Sorry, I said MongoDB. If you're having issue with the Movie DB organization, is it the one you're having issue like putting the API key here? Let me know if this is the issue you're having. Like, are you having issue here? It's free and it shouldn't ask you for domain or whatsoever. Like, you can literally go to the Movie DB. Yeah, the Movie DB. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't. If you have an issue, let me know. Like, let me know. Let me know the issue you're having with this. I think it should be. Yeah. So Sean say if you have an issue with this, you can literally put in any domain name like nothing.com and it will actually work for you. Like, just use some random info. Thanks, Sean. And to your question, you ask if it's expensive to run Amazon Q and Codes. So Amazon Q for me, I'm not paying for it. I'm using the monthly token. I don't usually use it often, but again, this is what I use it for. I use it to check for vulnerability, right? I use Codex mainly because I'm using the OpenAI Pro, right? So it also covers for the Codex. So that's the one I'm usually paying for. For Amazon Q, I am not paying for that because I don't really use it like often. I only use it to run vulnerability check. Right? It's very good when it comes to security. All I do is just after, let's say this is a project I'm working on. Let's say I just build with Codes, some endpoint that is doing some amazing stuff. I just come to Amazon Q and I ask it, okay, check this endpoint for me, or check this code base for me, check for security vulnerabilities that you can find, and let me know how I can fix that. It tells me how I can fix that. If I want it to fix it for me, sometimes I don't actually ask it to fix it. I just use the information it gives me, give it back to Codex. Codex will fix it because Codex wrote the code, so it understands the code more. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I use Codex mainly, then Amazon Q for checking vulnerability because it's very powerful for security. Usually, like Amazon Q is big on security. So if you're looking at building security point of view, then Amazon Q is like mainly it focuses more on security. Okay, so let's see what Codex gave us this time. I asked it to add a poster so we can actually see a poster. Let's see what we have. It better be good. I'm just gonna refresh this page. Okay, I'm just gonna say I feel lucky. Just pick something for me. Oh, I see. Mm, I don't know. The image is not working as expected. Yeah, so I'll leave it to you. I'll leave it to you. Oh, it's working. Okay, okay. Just took some time. Okay, that's amazing. I see. Okay, that's amazing. Let me actually stick to 2024 to 2025 and give me the best for movies. What's my mood? I want to laugh. I want to laugh. That's my mood. I just want to laugh. Comedy, yeah. Let me see what we have. Okay, pretty cool. Though I think there's still some things it means. I specifically said from 2024 to 2025, but here we are, 2022, 2020, and 2013. Yeah. It happens, but you can like keep training it better to do exactly what you wanted to do. Yeah, but I think this is pretty cool. I'm just gonna push the code. Just again, if you want to have that UI access to yourself, I'm just gonna add it and push it out there so you can also have access to it. And just before I forget, I'm gonna drop the feedback link on the comment section. Let us know how the streams are going. Let us know what we can do better and how we can improve. And I want you to go ahead and experiment, brainstorm, and build something amazing with what you've been learning so far. And just before I forget, the next stream is on how you can actually host your EPS 32. So if you are so interested in IoT's Internet of Things and how to host applications on Internet of Things, you should look forward to the next stream. It's gonna be really cool. I will be there. So just to learn about it. I don't really know anything about IoT, but I think it's going to be an interesting one. So if you're, if you're interested in robotics, Internet of Things, IoT devices, how devices can be like smarter, and uh, microcontrollers and so forth in the web server. So you should look forward to the next stream. And if you have questions, drop it on the comment section. Let me know if you build something cool. Share it with the community. Share it with us. We want to see what you're building, and we want to cheer you up. Okay, yeah, I'll be going off in the next 1 minute, so I can give you all a break to prepare for the next stream. So can you talk about the flow of the code and how AWS Bedrock and the movie recommender and Postman all work together? Cool, I can. So Postman is used for testing APIs. So Postman is just a tool. It's used for testing APIs. Literally any API you want to test, you can use Postman for that, right? So if you're backend engineer or you build RESTful APIs, you can literally use that. You can literally use that to you can literally use that to build to test the APIs. Bedrock again, Bedrock Bedrock simply is a warehouse. We're just plugging in the Bedrock SDK here. We can communicate with the Bedrock on our console, right? So we went to console. We can see how we played with the console Bedrock, compare it with different models. So we want to use it programmatically. So we bring it down here, right? That's what we did. So what we did was bring it down here so we can actually put information to it and it returns something back to us. Then we want to use the movie database. It's database. Basically, if you go to the website, you can just search for movies. You can choose years and it will just return the information. But we wanted our system to be a lot bit smarter. So we're just not searching for movies. We are pushing that movies to our API, our Bedrock AI, so it can do some filtering based on what we have given it, like mood and how we feel, and it gives us a recommendation, right? Just like what we did here, we are literally just giving it our mood. So the most important things here are mood, basically, right? So he's using that mood to give back information to us. So basically, we do a normal search. We're looking for science freak actions between year. That's fine. That's all coming from the movie database. It's just going to return a bunch of movies. We can just put the limit. It's going to return a bunch of movies within that category, right? But then we actually want AI to filter it and just give us based on our mood. So that is why we just pass in mood to it. So we get the information from the movie database and we push it back to AI. That's the Bedrock Clouds AI we're using. You can see where we configured the model we want to use. We're using cloud. We give it back to it. It just filters it based on our mood. It picks the one that matches our mood and returns it back to us. That's just the flow between both of them. So this we make a request to the API for that for the movies, plug in the movie to Bedrock. Bedrock does the magic and returns a list for us based on our mood. I hope that answered the question. And then endpoints, sorry, we just use Postman to test the endpoints. I mean, like we don't necessarily need it if you have a UI, but you need it if you like testing endpoints programmatically. You just want to test how it was behind the scene. And then we introduce UI, which is looking very nice. If you look at the UI we have here, it's cool. We can now do the same thing, like putting your moods, must have genes and so forth, and crack it up, and it gives you some cool lists, right? Okay, so I have a question. Okay, another question has a lot of info, and thank you so much. I mean, the API, the movie database API is actually free for everyone. So like you can literally sign up to sign up to the movie DB, and you're able to get your own API. So it's free. I mean, it's free. But since everyone has it right now, I mean, I'm going to generate a new one. It's my personal one, so I'm literally going to generate a new API key. So this one is not going to be valuable again. Okay, everyone. So I'm gonna allow you take a little bit rest and prepare for the next stream. Okay. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day. And yeah, see you guys. All right. TV talk is a TV show like Netflix shows. Okay. I think I missed this. So he's talking about Track TV. It has a lot of info and Jeros free API. I see. I see. I think I missed that. Okay. So it's like movie DB as well. Okay. So you can actually check it out. You can like you first can check it out, see how you can actually communicate with the API as well. So I mean, just check out how from any endpoint, from any API that gives you the information you need. Thank you, Shaw, and have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.